Welcome back, everyone. This is Explainer of Mysteries here, and today I'm going to give you some really good advice that I have learned over the years, not just after learning the arts, but just as a whole. These are codes that I strive to live by every moment of every day. First code that I strive to live by, and that we should all live by, is humble pride. Now, this doesn't mean being a pushover or just resigning your successes and your talents. This means being humble about it. And even when people want to call you out, or oftentimes will actually end up trying to be sarcastic about our successes and our abilities, or we try to downplay them because we're afraid that we're going to get called out, that we're going to be criticized because of our fragile egos. That's something we have to strive to overcome. The second thing we should strive to overcome, is building off the last one, is our egos, particularly a fragile ego. You don't need to prove a point. You don't always have to get in the last word. You don't need to do any of that. The third one is silence. Don't tell people your plans. Work in silence. Make your plans, especially your personal plans, as little known as possible. Because even though your plans may be personal and they don't affect anyone else, at least they don't harm anyone else, there are going to be those that want to tear you down. And that is always something that you should watch out for. The best way to avoid that is being quiet. The fourth one is, don't become too indulgent in anything. Don't become obsessed. Don't become addicted. And I know this is much easier said than done. I have some addictions myself. And this is going to build on the fifth one, which is avoid being addicted to anything that's unproductive. Always strive to do something that's productive, even if minimally productive. Now, this in the modern day is avoiding things like doom scrolling and anything that would make you upset needlessly. The sixth piece of advice that I would give is always be grateful. Always have gratitude. And that is pretty self-explanatory. Be grateful for everything you have. Whether the good and the bad. Everything. And the eighth piece of advice I would have is to never get too close to anyone. Never get too close to anyone. Never trust anyone too much. And the ninth piece of advice is always have a positive attitude. Always recognize that tomorrow, or even a minute from now, things can change drastically in your favor. Every day, and even every minute ahead of time, ahead of where you are now, is an opportunity for greatness. So much can change in just a few seconds, or even a millisecond. And the 10th piece of advice that I would give to you and this is often a fault of my own, is never break your oaths, especially the oaths that you make spiritually. Always strive to keep your oaths, especially the ones that you make to yourself and to spirits and to anything that's spiritual. Always strive to keep your oaths. Because if you break your oaths, if you veer off track, you're going to pay dearly. And this is advice that I'm giving you because these are things that I strive to keep up every single day and every moment of every day. And this is what I've learned from the mistakes that I've made. So I hope that this can help all of you. Thank you and take care.